My parents skipped my son's first birthday. They said it was just a trivial event. Then, my mom posted Hawaii vacation videos with my sister's kids. 1 week later, my dad called saying, "The loan payments haven't been made." I replied, "Don't contact me about trivial matters. My name is Jason. I'm 31, the oldest child, the reliable one. I fix routers at family gatherings. I change light bulbs no one else can reach. I'm the person my parents call when the garage door won't close or when the TV says no signal. I'm married to Nora. We have a son, Leo. He just turned 1. I'm the kid who left home at 18 and paid my own way. 2 jobs in college. Night classes. No gap year. No summer abroad. My sister, Bianca, is 3 years younger. 2 kids, endless drama. The kind of Instagram stories that need sound because it's all about the squealing and the cocktails. My parents adore her. They don't whisper it. It's built into the way they speak. Your sister's plate is so full. Mom says when Bianca forgets a birthday. She's doing her best. Dad adds when Bianca misses a payment. Nora jokes that I'm the family IT help desk and ATM. She says it light, so it doesn't stab. The night before Leo's party, I was in our kitchen frosting a sheet cake that looked like a small snowdrift. There were balloons everywhere, blue and yellow, taped to the walls. The house smelled like vanilla and new plastic. Nora was labeling little jars, puffs, berries, tiny sandwiches, and humming along to a playlist of cheerful songs that made everything feel simpler than it was. My phone buzzed on the counter. Family group chat. Mom. Reminder, tomorrow is what time again? Me. Noon. We said noon. Bianca. We'll see what we can do. The twins have so much going on. Me. It's Leo's first birthday. Dad. Jason, don't guilt people. I stared at the screen. I had sent calendars. I had mailed a real paper invite because Mom likes how classy that feels. I'd even bought decaf coffee because Bianca said caffeine makes her shaky. Nora squeezed my arm and whispered, "Breathe. It's fine." It wasn't fine. I knew exactly how the next day could go. But hope is stubborn. The next afternoon, at 11:58, I lined up tiny paper crowns on the table. Nora stuck a 1 candle into the snowdrift cake. Our friends were already there with their babies, sleepy and sticky and cute. The doorbell didn't ring. Noon came and went. At 12:17, my phone lit up. Mom. Hi, sweetheart, she said, breezy. We're not going to make it. Something came up. What came up? My voice came out flat. A commitment, she said. Don't be dramatic. Bianca chimed in the chat a minute later with a single word. Busy. Nora saw my face and whispered, "Do we still sing?" "We still sing," I said. We sang. Leo clapped, amazed at the candle flame and his own power. I smiled for the phone camera, but my chest felt like a pulled muscle. After everyone left, after the floor was speckled with confetti and mashed banana, after Leo fell asleep on my shoulder, I opened Instagram. Mom had posted a boomerang with palm trees and ocean. Hawaii at last. Family time. Bianca and her kids were in the frame, all sun and matching swimsuits. Mom had tagged a resort. The caption, "Memories that matter." I stared at that sentence until the letters swam. Memories that matter. Not this one. Not Leo's first cake. Not us. Nora leaned against me, quiet. You okay? I swallowed. Sure. That night, after we cleaned up the last smear of frosting and folded the banner back into its creases, my phone rang again. Dad. I let it go to voicemail, then pressed play. Jason, he said, in the voice he uses when he's about to lecture. The loan payments haven't been made. I stared at the ceiling. The string of balloons moved in the air conditioner draft like lazy jellyfish. Then I called him back. Hey, he said. Finally. Don't contact me, I said, about trivial matters. I hung up and set the phone face down on the table. Nora's eyebrows went up. What? She asked. I listened to my pulse in my ears. I think, I said. That's the last time I let them set the story. I didn't sleep much. I didn't cry either. I lay there in the dark next to my wife, our son breathing soft through the monitor, and felt something cold and simple click into place. Tomorrow, I'd stop being the help desk. Let me rewind. The loan payments Dad meant were the exact opposite of trivial. 3 years ago, my parents called me to talk like adults. That's how Mom framed it. We met at a diner with sticky menus. Dad cleared his throat like a politician. It's just a small thing, he said. A bridge. Bianca had opened a kids' boutique with a friend. It lasted 6 months, minus rent. There were suppliers. There were fees. There was debt. My parents took out a consolidation loan in their names to keep her from drowning. The interest rate was obscene. The bank had offered better terms if there was a co-borrower with stronger credit. Mom touched my hand. You've always been good with money. I said no. I said it 3 times. Then Dad did that thing where he sits back, breathes loud, and says, "We did everything for you." Nora was pregnant then. I kept seeing a crib in my head and a stack of bills on the table. I also saw my 14-year-old self mowing the neighbors' lawns to buy my own track shoes because "we're not made of money" was the house motto. Just for a year, Mom said. We'll be diligent. I signed. Not because I believed them, because I believed in ending a conversation that had begun when I was born. The year came and went. Payments were late twice. I covered, telling myself I was protecting my credit. Dad called those months hiccups. Bianca called them attacks, as in, why are interest rates attacking me? Meanwhile, the list of small things I covered got longer. The twins needed a new car seat. I bought it. Dad's alternator died. I paid the mechanic. The Wi-Fi at my parents' house was unfairly slow, so I upgraded their plan and added them to my streaming accounts. Mom said she'd Venmo me next week. She never did. Family takes care of family, she'd say, smiling like she'd just stitched that pillow herself. On paper, it looked like I was doing fine. Project manager salary, stable job, insurance, a 401k I remembered to check. In real life, it was a lot of "we'll catch up next month, we'll buy the nice coffee when layoffs aren't a rumor, and we can skip the weekend trip, we've got the park." Nora never complained. She would tuck a receipt in the drawer and squeeze my hand. Bianca loved to remind me how blessed I was. "You're lucky," she'd say, sipping a massive iced drink in my parents' kitchen. "Some people are struggling." "You mean the people charging lattes to my card?" I said once, not nicely. She rolled her eyes. "You're so intense." When Leo was born, I figured things would shift. The first grandbaby on my side. The first great-grandchild. I pictured casseroles on our porch, the way neighbors do. I pictured Mom's hand in Leo's hair and Dad learning to swaddle. What I got were selfies of Bianca's kids welcoming their little cousin, taken in her house, miles away, while Mom held Leo for exactly 4 minutes and then asked if I could take a look at her iPad because the email moved. Still, I kept making payments. Not because I loved them less, but because I loved my future more, and my credit score was part of that future whether I liked it or not. I automated the loan. I built reminders into my calendar so no one's hiccup torpedoed us. And each time I touched that payment, I felt the same twist in my stomach. Not anger. Resentment's quieter cousin. The one that just sits down in your chair and doesn't leave. 2 months before Leo's birthday, Bianca called me at work like the office was my bedroom and she could just wander in. "Hey," she said, "what color should the twins wear for Mom's early Mother's Day photos? Beachy neutrals or jewel tones?" "Beachy neutrals," I said, because any answer was a trap. "Hey, can you send Mom the date for Leo's party again? She keeps acting surprised when I mention it." Bianca snorted. "You're so needy. It's a baby eating cake. Like, cute, but not a thing." "My son is a thing," I said, and hung up without guilt. That was the tone going into the week. Me begging people who never showed up to please show up to a day I'd remember forever and they'd call cute. The morning of Leo's birthday. Mom texted a heart emoji. No words. Bianca sent a photo of a suitcase with a lei emoji and a caption, "Alahia." Dad didn't say anything until after we cut the cake. He called about the loan. When I said, "Don't contact me about trivial matters," it was the pettiest thing I've ever said. Petty felt good in my mouth. But the truth is, I knew nothing about what would happen next was trivial. Because once I stopped being the help desk, the tickets pile up. Because once I stopped being the ATM, people noticed the broken screen. The first few days after the party were a chorus of messages. "Mom, why would you speak to your father like that?" "Dad, we're on a trip. Can we discuss this like adults when we return?" "Bianca, wow." Over a cake. I didn't reply. Nora and I took Leo to the park and let him become a galaxy of crumbs. We sat on a bench that needed paint, in the light that makes everything look forgiving, and I said, "I'm done." "Done how?" she asked. "I'm closing the bank," I said, "and the help desk, and the 24/7 hotline." "Okay," Nora said. "Do it. You don't have to explain yourself anymore." It's strange, the quiet that comes after a decision. It's not peace. Not yet. It's just a clarity so sharp you could use it to cut open a box. I opened my laptop that night and made a list. Auto-pay for their loan, off. Streaming logins, changed. Shared phone plan I'd been temporarily fronting, canceled. The just-in-case credit card my parents had a photo of, replaced. I didn't send a manifesto. I didn't announce it in the chat. I didn't subtweet. I did what I should have done years ago. The next morning, Dad called from a balcony with gulls screaming and waves thudding. I could hear Bianca's kids shrieking in the background that the water tasted like salt. Son, he said, the loan. Talk to the lender, I said, and ended the call. An hour later, Mom posted a video of Bianca's kids building a sandcastle around her feet. Caption, "These are the moments that matter." She added a sparkle emoji, as if that made it profound. I put my phone face down again. Leo crawled over it and bonked it with his head like a seal with a ball. He laughed. I laughed too, because sometimes the world gives you exactly the symbol you need. Then the text got meaner. Mom, you're making a scene. Dad, stop punishing your sister. Bianca, LMAO, are you seriously throwing a tantrum over a baby party? I typed and deleted 20 replies before letting the phone go dark. Let them talk. I had a new job now. Boundaries. Their work. 1 week after the party, they came home sunburned and cheerful. Mom called before they'd even unpacked. Okay, she said, bright. Now that we're back in the real world, we need to address some housekeeping. Housekeeping, I repeated. The loan, she said. The utilities you handle. The streaming. Your father spent 20 minutes trying to watch the news last night, and it wouldn't load. That's terrible, I said. Up there with war. Jason, she snapped, don't be sarcastic. We are a family. We rely on each other. You rely on me, I said. That's not the same thing. Silence. I pictured her face, the set of her mouth when she's about to cry, so you'll back down. I didn't feel it. Then Dad got on. This is childish, he said. Whatever this is about, it's not about a birthday. It's about a pattern, I said. It's about respect, he said. Exactly, he huffed. We raised you. You also skipped my son's first birthday to go to Hawaii with Bianca's kids and posted memories that matter. Then you called me from a lounge chair to ask about a payment you promised to manage. That trip was planned for months, he said. Don't make a scene. I thought about the diner, the sticky menus, the pen in my hand. The lender has your signatures, I said. They can help you set up autopay. You removed yourself, he said, like I'd amputated a limb. I removed access, I said, to things you don't pay for. There was a shift then, the click when charm fails and the voice under it comes out. Mom came back on the line. How dare you, she breathed. After everything we've done for you. What have you done? I asked. Calm. Curious. Like I was taking notes. We gave you a home, she said. I moved out at 18. We paid for your school supplies, she said. Do you remember how expensive calculators are? Yes, I said. I mowed lawns to buy one. You are so ungrateful. I let that hang, then said, you told me Leo's first birthday was trivial. Then you made a movie about the beach. I never said trivial. Dad cut in. For the record, I said we could discuss this like adults, and you hung up. That is not how adults behave. Here's how adults behave, I said. They pay their debts they take on. They don't use one child to subsidize the other. They show up. And when they can't, they don't call the thing they skipped trivial. Watch your tone, Dad said. I pictured the sheet cake, the candle, the way Leo laughed at the flame, then looked scared, then laughed again because we were there. Nora's hand on my back, steady. I pictured the caption, memories that matter. I said, here's what's going to happen. I'm not handling your bills. I'm not co-borrowing. I'm not your tech support. If you need help, call a professional and pay them. You're being cruel, Mom said. And now the cry finally arrived, the tremor at the edge of each word. What about your sister? She's drowning. She has 2 hands, I said. There's a ladder. I'm not the ladder. Bianca, of course, texted in the middle of the call. Bianca, wow. Sociopath energy. You love money more than family. Me. I love my family more than your excuses. Dad sighed like he was the hero in a tragedy. If you do this, he said, don't come to us when you need something. I won't, I said. Then I hung up, put my phone in the drawer where we keep tape and batteries, and went to the living room where Nora and Leo were building a tower with soft blocks. Leo knocked it over with his little palm and gasped at his own power. I sat on the rug and laughed until I felt it in my ribs. 10 minutes later, my phone, ignored in the drawer, began to fill with new messages. I let them collect like dust. By dinner, the group chat had moved from guilt to threats to insults, and back to guilt. I cooked, Nora chopped, Leo smeared peas on his tray. I felt something I hadn't felt in years. My life, small and bright, fitting in my hands. Breaking isn't always a bang. Sometimes it's a gentle click, a door you close that used to be stuck. And when it closes, the house finally gets quiet. The quiet lasted less than 2 days. On Tuesday, Dad left a voicemail saying the lender won't talk to me without you. That was false and also not my problem. On Wednesday, Mom posted a screenshot of a Bible verse on Facebook about honor thy father and mother and tagged me, which is a sentence that should be laughed at in a courtroom. On Thursday, Bianca texted Nora because she couldn't get a reaction out of me. Bianca to Nora. Hey girl, can you talk some sense into your husband? He's ruining the family. Nora, queen of soft knives, wrote back. Please don't involve me in financial conversations that aren't mine. Bianca, wow. Brainwashed. Nora, boundaried. Meanwhile, I did things no one applauds because they look like chores. I called the lender, explained I would no longer be a payee, and requested, in writing, that all communication regarding the loan go to the listed borrowers. The rep said, "Are you sure?" In that tone like I might be leaving a cult. "I'm sure," I said. I drafted a simple email to my parents. No insults, no poetry. 3 bullet points. Effective today, I am not managing your bills. Please do not contact me about passwords, streaming, or tech issues. For future plans with Leo, give us dates. If we are available, we will confirm. I ended it with, I love you. I am prioritizing my family, my wife, and my son. Mom replied with a novel, then forwarded it to half the extended family. Dad sent 3 lines. Understood. Disappointed. Call me. I didn't. The next week was messy. I woke up each day with a little knot where my stomach used to be. I kept checking our accounts like I expected numbers to abandon me. Every time my phone buzzed, my shoulders went up. Then life did what it does when you let go of a weight you thought you needed to carry. It rushed in. Work got easier. Not because the tasks changed, but because the constant background noise was gone. I wasn't troubleshooting someone else's Wi-Fi while trying to present a roadmap. I wasn't scanning my inbox for a loan due while writing status updates. I had mental RAM again. Nora noticed first. You're humming, she said one night while we folded Leo's laundry. I hum. You didn't for a long time. Leo took 2 steps that week, then 3, then 5 like he was chasing joy down the hallway. We clapped like fools. I texted the video to the grandparents because I am not a monster. Mom responded with a heart, and wish we could have been there in person, smiley face, as if she'd been invited to the event by fate and missed her flight. I refused to bite. Bianca tried a new tactic, pity. Bianca, the twins keep asking why Uncle Jay doesn't come around. Me. Tell them the truth. Uncle Jay's at home with Leo. Bianca, I don't want them to think you hate us. Me. Then stop giving them reasons to think that. There were other small wins. I changed the last of the streaming passwords and got a text from Dad. Can't watch the news. I wrote back, try a newspaper. Nora laughed for a full minute. You're spicy, she said. I'm learning. Then the big thing happened. Not court. Not a fight in a driveway. Just a bank decision. The lender sent a letter saying, due to payment irregularities, the loan was going to collections unless the past due amount was paid by the end of the month. It felt like watching a train I'd been dragging with my body finally roll past me and keep going. I didn't celebrate. I didn't cheer. I took a photo of the letter and saved it in a folder called Records. 2 days later, Dad called and left a voicemail more tired than angry. Jason, he said, we're in a mess. I need your help to get us out of it. I sat with that sentence. The man who once told me at 13 to figure it out when my bike chain broke was asking me to fix the thing he broke on purpose. I listened to the message twice, then called Nora into the kitchen and played it again out loud. What do I do? I asked. Nora wiped her hands and met my eyes. What you said you'd do. You hold your boundary. And you offer the same advice you'd give a stranger. I called Dad back. He answered on the first ring, like he'd been holding the phone. Okay, I said. Here's my advice. Call the lender. Ask for a hardship plan. Sell the second car if you need to. Cut the extended cable. Call a credit counselor. This is all solvable. But I'm not making a single payment. Not one. You'd watch your parents drown? He asked. You are in the shallow end, I said. There's a ladder. Use it. He was quiet a long time. Then, we raised you to be kind. You raised me to be useful, I said. I'm kind now. To my kid. To my wife. To myself. He hung up softly. That hurt worse than any shout. I stood in the dead air and let it sting. The next day, Mom texted a photo of Leo's birthday gift, a tiny Hawaiian shirt with pineapples. No note. Just the shirt on their kitchen table, the one with the burn mark from Bianca's candle 3 Christmases ago. I typed thanks and sent it. Then I put the shirt in Leo's drawer. He'd wear it on a day he was covered in marinara, and we needed something we didn't mind ruining. A week later, something unexpected happened. Bianca called me crying. Not actress crying. The kind where the words come out in little pieces. They cut our hours, she said. Childcare is a mess. I don't know what to do. Olmi would have opened my wallet like a reflex. Numi took a breath. I'm sorry, I said. That's hard. What am I supposed to tell the twins? She asked. The truth, I said. That money is tight right now. That grown-ups make a plan. That you're going to talk to a counselor and a budget person. I can send you some resources. I can watch the twins one evening so you can do interviews. I can't pay your bills. You're really going to let me fall, she whispered. I'm going to let you walk, I said. It feels like falling at first. She hung up. She didn't text after. I stood in the kitchen, palms flat on the cool counter, feeling both heartbroken and weirdly light. It's possible to love someone and refuse to be their soft landing. No one told me that when I was little. I'm telling myself now. 2 nights later, Mom sent a long message apologizing for the tone, but not for the content. That's her specialty. There was a sentence I read 5 times. We didn't know Leo's first birthday was that important to you. I laughed then, alone at the sink. I laughed until the laugh turned into a cough. I took a screenshot, saved it in records, and wrote back. Tell me which milestones matter to you, and I'll let you know if we're available. It felt like throwing a rope across a river and not tying it to my own waist. We didn't see them for a month. The house was quiet in a way that buzzed. We made new rituals. Friday pancakes, Sunday walks, Tuesday library story time where Leo tried to eat a board book with a bear on it. And I let him because childhood is edible. On a random Thursday, I got a short text from Dad. Got on a plan with the bank. We'll be okay. I stared at it, relief and sadness washing through me at the same time. They would be okay. We were already okay. Those truths didn't have to fight each other. That weekend, Mom asked if they could come by with a small gift for Leo and talk. I said yes, with rules. 1 hour. No lone talk. No Bianca drama. If the conversation went sideways, I'd end it. They came with a wooden truck and a pie from the grocery store. Mom's smile was the one she uses for church people. Dad looked smaller, but also clearer in the eyes. He sat on the floor and rolled the truck to Leo, who laughed like bells. Mom tried to tell a story about the cutest thing the twins did at the resort, and then stopped herself mid-sentence. That shocked me more than the ocean photo. We talked about nothing. Weather. Work. The tomato plant on our porch that refuses to die. When they left, Mom hugged me like she was testing my edges. You're a good father, she whispered. I didn't cry until the door closed. Not because I believed she'd changed. Because I've wanted to hear those words since before I knew the shape they would take inside me. We are not healed. We are not a movie. But the house is quiet in the right places now. Bianca texted that she found part-time work at a different company. I sent a thumbs up. She sent a photo of the twins painting and added, if you ever want them to babysit when they're older, too bad. Then a smiley face. I wrote, we'll see. I sleep better. Nora sleeps without checking her phone for midnight family fires. Leo sleeps like a small god who trusts the world is held. Sometimes, late at night, I scroll back to that caption. Memories that matter. I don't hate it anymore. I just disagree about the meaning. This is the memory that matters. A house where my kid's birthday is not a footnote. A kitchen where trivial means the burnt pancake we laugh about. A boundary that held.